First off, just how much pressure does getting a win like this do for a group just to kind of feel that flow and that confidence again?
The best part about it is that, the things that we've been working on and the things that we've been talking about, we've executed for the most part, and that's what you're most proud of. Not necessarily the pressure of getting a win. It's that the things that you've been doing are now being rewarded because of the way we chose to play tonight.
To have that big third quarter, 40-20, how did that change the game for you guys, and what did you see in that stretch that worked?
Well, I thought it was just a combination of what we've put together. Our defense did its job. We got out, got steals. We talked about getting easy baskets. We got a ton in that quarter, and they set the tone there. So we were able to get out and have our sprint and run game together because we were able to get the stops and get easy baskets versus a very good defensive Miami team.
How big was Jonathan Isaac, especially in that first half?
I thought he was absolutely great. You talk about a guy that always stays ready no matter what the rotation looks like. When his number's called, he changed the game defensively, being able to go in there and guard multiple guys, multiple positions, protect the rim. Just his energy was very infectious for us tonight.
Coach, tonight you guys had a 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, 36 assists, 7 turnovers, but specifically Tyus Jones, 9 assists, and no turnovers for him. What was it like having that night from him and just the ball moving in general?
I thought it was excellent. He did a great job of getting us organized, played with pace, but also played with poise, found the right pass, the right guy at the right time. And the reason you bring a guy like that in is because that's what they do. There's a reason why he's led the league in assist-to-turnover ratio for so long, because he understands how to play the game and where to get the ball at the right time to these guys.
You said that the team kind of decided that they had to play the right way or play the way that you guys have been talking about. What kind of goes into that decision, or how does that kind of come about, and what maybe seemed to click today?
I wouldn't say it's so much decided to. I think it's just those things all fell into place right now for us. And you look at the third quarter as the prime example of that. Like, we sat down, we got stops, we didn't gamble, we were able to go get easy baskets off of our defense, creating turnovers. So those are the things that's what it looks like. We shared and moved the basketball with quick decisions. When the double team came, we found bodies, we swung it, we found one more, we went from good to great on shots a ton of times, and that's what this team is capable of doing night in and night out.
Coach, Anthony Black tonight, we know what he can do defensively, but he had, plus 17 for you guys, was just really a key offensive cog for you guys. What's this game just been kind of another example of what he's been doing all this season?
He's been special. I think he just keeps stepping into more of who he is. We talk about the things that he's capable of doing defensively, but then he did a couple things tonight that, everybody talked about the dunk that he had, over in Berlin, but then you see the one he throws off the rim, goes back and gets it, and that even shocked me. But that's what he's capable of doing, and when he plays with that level of aggression and confidence, it's who he is, and it's what he's capable of doing on any given night.
How do you guys bring what worked tonight onto the next one and moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we go tomorrow, we look at film, we figure out the things that we can do better, because there's a lot of cleanup from tonight. But then that's what we have to do to make sure we transfer it over. Stick with how we shared the basketball, how we defended, the cleanup from little small things within the game that we know we can control. I think that you just take that into a tough Toronto team that you're going to face next.
We were talking the other day about how it's important to not let missed shots affect confidence. Is this an example of how they didn't let missed shots from the prior couple games affect them tonight?
Yeah, I thought we did a great job in that first half. I think there was one moment we were shooting 20-something% from three, and that didn't impact the way we played. I think, you shake it off because you've been there before. We've been there before. They felt that, but then they said, we got to make sure we sit down and guard the right way. They communicated to one another. They organized the things that were on the floor. They understood the coverages that we were in. All those things were a big part of why we walk away with this win, because these guys were so highly connected.
We've heard you talk a lot over the years about being able to play with joy, and obviously in this losing streak, there's been this kind of pall over the team, maybe some frustration sinking in. How nice was it to kind of see the team play with a little bit of that swagger again, and how important is it to kind of maintain that as you guys try to move forward?
It's key for this team. That's the group that we have. They spend time together. They care about each other. They work together. All those things are big pieces of this group. So when they can celebrate each other's success on any given night, that's so important for this group, and that's what we'll continue to do moving forward, one game at a time.
Coach, how do you see this win, especially midway through the year, as a sign of maturity, not just for your players, but even for you and your coaching staff as, it's getting close to the deadline, and obviously the rumor mill is always going to have things, churning. How do you think of that as?
I've always said it. We say it as a staff. You control what you can't control. And part of that is we control our effort every single day we step on the court. We control how we take care of people that we're playing with and who are around every single day. And that's all you can do. And then night in and night out, the effort that you give is what matters for the most part for this group. And so all the other stuff, you kind of just let it go because you can't control any of that. This group takes care of each other, and that's all we're going to continue to do down the stretch.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Paolo, what does a win feel like for this group? Is it relief of stress? What was it like in the locker room tonight?
Yeah, it feels good to get the win. Thought we played well. We just got to come back out and repeat it. I don't think anybody was too happy or too excited. We know we got a game on, was it Friday? Yeah, so come out, repeat, see what we did wrong. Thought we did a lot of stuff well, and just come out with energy next game.
What do you feel like seemed to click right today that maybe didn't in the last couple games as you guys were kind of beginning to come out of this?
I thought we played good defense. I thought we withstood their runs, and yeah, we just stayed together and were able to, like I said, withstand those runs that they made and continue to find good shots.
For you get 4 offensive boards. How, and just 10 in general, but how important is it to be able to physically impose your will on the glass and then also create those second chance opportunities for your team?
Yeah. I think that's something I've tried to improve at over the course of my career, especially coming into this year, is just being active on the glass, offensive glass. Something I know I can do at a high level, and just if I'm able to create extra opportunities or come up with big rebounds, I'm gonna try to do it. Just position myself, crash the glass. Yeah.
We talked the last few days about how to not let poor shooting nights affect your confidence. Do you feel like in that second half you had that mindset that, regardless of what happened the last few games, you guys were still going to come out and knock down those open shots?
Yeah, no, I thought we just had a good, demeanor about our team, as a collective the whole game. As for myself, I wanted to come out and have a big second half. And so, I think the team just came out with great energy, and I think we were the aggressors.
Paolo, there's been some national noise about your relationship with Jamal Mosley, and obviously you guys have talked about the frustration during this throughout the season and this losing streak. Just what is your relationship like with him, and how has he helped you guys?
Yeah, he helps us a lot. He's helped me a lot, and we have a lot of open communication. I wouldn't say, whatever those reports are, I wouldn't say those are true, in my opinion. I think, one thing I know about myself and one thing I know about him is that we're both fierce competitors. And so when you're losing a lot of games and stuff's not going well, people are upset. And, me and him haven't had any blow-ups or arguments or going back and forth. Like, me and him are pretty aligned with, when we talk to each other, trying to figure stuff out. Now, that's not saying when, we lose 4 or 5 in a row that I'm not pissed off, he's not pissed off. But in terms of, our relationship, I think it's been good, since I've gotten here. And obviously, as a team, we need to keep improving. And I've been vocal about that. And, he understands that. We all understand that. So I don't think anything that I've said or he said isn't already known in terms of the team and the organization. So those reports, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if you guys are putting that out, or what I'm saying. So if it's not you guys, who could that be coming from? So it is what it is. But I think winning cures all. So the more we win, the more quiet those reports will get.
Kind of on that point, just how have you been trying to get the team to kind of come out of this funk and maybe be a leader, either leading by example, leading by voice to help kind of push this team to that next level? And how have you maybe reflected on what you need to do or what you may still be learning how to do as a young player in this league?
Yeah, I think just every year of my career, I've tried to improve on my leadership. I've always been a big lead by example guy, but I think since I've been a pro, becoming more of a vocal leader, something I've tried to focus on. And so that's something that I've tried to focus on this year, and that's something I've had to, remind myself of in these tough moments throughout the season. My voice still has to be there. Obviously, my play has to be there in terms of playing at a high level. And, it's just a learning experience as you go. But, I understand that, for us to be at our best, I got to be at my best. And so that's my mentality, and that's what I'm thinking every night, for us to win. I don't have to score 30 every night, but I know I got to be at my best, whatever that looks like. So, yeah.
To piggyback off of that, tonight you had a really impactful second half, and with the starters obviously not being as impactful in the first compared to the second, how do you feel about being able to kind of be this model of consistency, and just every time you're on the floor, you kind of are like this stabilizing presence for your teammates as they can always rely on you?
Yeah, I take pride in that, and that's something that, my teammates remind me of. Even earlier in the season, coming off injury when I wasn't playing as well, I didn't feel like myself. They kept reminding me, like, hey, we're riding with you. When you're out there, we want you to be you. And so obviously now just coming in every night and letting my presence be felt. In the first half, I was really frustrated with myself, felt like I didn't play well at all. And so I came out in that second half, a little pissed off, and just wanted to, come out and bring the energy and pick my defense up, pick my rebounding up. The scoring was going to come. So that's something that every night, I got to be able to bring to the table for this team.
Thank you, everyone.
AB, obviously you guys coming off some of the losses that you've had, how important is this win and just the feeling of this win?
Super important, I haven't lost 4 in a row. It's never a place you want to be, but we did a good job responding. We knew this was a must-win game, and I think we just did a good job coming out ready to play. We came out aggressive on both sides of the ball, and I think we set the tone early.
AB, talking about aggression, you've been aggressive, and tonight that dunk you had, what's kind of that mentality behind your aggression this season, and even just tonight, what we're seeing from you?
Oh, yeah, just, my coaches and teammates telling me we're a better team when I play that way, so just trying to do that as much as possible within the flow of the game. And then what you said about dunking, just realizing my size, knowing I'm going to have a matchup disadvantage most of the time, just going up strong, trying to dunk it, get fouled, and then if I need to pass out or adjust to a layup, then that's something I feel comfortable doing.
We were talking the last few days about how it's important to not let missed shots affect your confidence. That second half, is that an example of how you guys have to think mentally to not let it affect you?
For sure. I think we did a good job just playing all 48 minutes the same way with aggression. The ball was popping. Different dudes were shooting the ball. We were getting good looks in transition, good stops. So I think, we did a really good job today playing with a lot of intent and just moving the ball around and everybody being super aggressive.
What do you guys talk about, or how do you guys as a group, pull what worked from tonight moving forward to not just one win, but
just watching the film back, realizing things that helped us, cleaning up the things, that we need to clean up, probably fouling, finishing possessions. But I think it's a lot of good things we did today on offense that we can look at and maximize going forward.
They say defense is the best offense, and now you had 4 steals, and your calling card is defense. But how do you say maybe that kind of being able to force turnovers and get that easy start to offense is critical for you and just the team in general?
Oh, yeah. Just big for momentum in games, runs, making a play at the top of the key. Personally, sometimes giving me a run-out dunk or layup, and, I know it brings us energy. So I think just today everybody did a good job. We had 12 steals, caused 20-plus turnovers. So we just did a great job getting easy buckets off of our steals. And, everybody who played today was super locked in on defense. There was very few errors on the defensive end.
We've heard Coach say that part of your identity is playing with, that part of this team's identity is playing with joy, and obviously losing streak brings a lot of frustration, brings a lot of kind of not finger pointing, but a lot of just this pall over the team. How did you guys feel? Did you feel like you kind of found a little bit of that joy, and how do you kind of maintain that moving forward?
Yeah, I think the last couple of games have been a step in the right direction. It's tough with dudes coming back in, just straight up. That's how it is. People coming in, people going out, week to week. We're doing a good job getting over the hump. It's only one win, but we showed that we could play the right way. We could play with the right energy level, and we stayed in the game. We went down. We withstood a run, and we just did a good job staying locked in on the things that mattered.
It's unusual for two teams that are basically tied in the standings to have a 4-0 run against each other this year. Why do you think that you've had their number a little bit this season?
I think just we played them so much in the last couple of years that you kind of know what's coming. I think they play a lot of one-on-one basketball, which is something that could help us on the defensive end just because of how many great defenders we have. So I think we just do a good job locking into our matchups, just being physical. It's always a close game versus these dudes, but I think we just do a good job being physical, winning our one-on-ones, and then, executing down the stretch on offense.